Hello, sweet friends, and welcome to the Rebookery channel. I am Gina, and today I am so excited because I am going to show you my summer shop explosion. So if you have been following me or you know me, I teach during August through May. So I'm pretty much off the grid during that time when it comes to my YouTube, my Etsy, my Instagram, especially since COVID, things have just been really crazy. And so I haven't been able to do as much with those avenues as I've wanted to. So what happens is I accumulate a ton of stuff that I want to put in my Etsy shop, and then summer comes and I need to put it in my shop because, you know, that was like the whole point of me making these things and creating these kits and curating all kinds of fun little goodies for journaling and crafting and art and sewing. And so now I've got all my stuff and I've got enough motivation, and I've been like taking pictures and making listings and updating my shop. And so now I'm going to show you guys some of the things that I have put in my shop. Okay. Whew. So I got a lot of stuff here. So let me start with some oldies but goodies. So I restocked my date books. So if you are a stationery lover, I restocked some date books, and I love these. They're fun to do journaling in. Some of them have writing in them. Some of them are blank. I love them because they remind me of going to the Hallmark store or the card shop or the drugstore with my mom, and she just always had one of these. And yeah, yeah. So anyway, I restocked these. I also restocked my little miniature mini golden books. Let me grab one real quick. So I have these little journaling kits with that have the little golden books, or the mini golden books, and so I restocked those. And then I'm trying to think what else. I think everything else is maybe new, I believe. Yes. Okay. So first thing I have, because I've been on this journey of slow stitching, collage, fabric, paper, all that good stuff. So I put together some fabric journaling kits, and I'm so excited about them. I can't even stand myself. I'm so excited. So I color coded them. So this one is the orange one, and I'm not gonna, whoops, I think I just hit the camera here. Sorry about that. I'm not going to show you guys all of it because it takes me forever to put them back together. But basically, and this orange one is just jam crammed packed, because I put in polyesters, and I put in blocks, quilt blocks, and I put in some vintage, oh, look at that, some vintage character fabric. And then this, I got at a thrift store. Oh my goodness. And it's like upholstery, and you could do the orange side or you could do the yellow side. But here's the thing. So if you have been following me or watching my videos for a while, you know that about 4 years ago, it was before COVID, I took a trip to Hamilton, Missouri, which is where Missouri Star Quilt Company is, and I did a whole video on it, and oh my gosh, it was unreal. And normally, you know, I love everything thrifted, and I don't go out and buy new fabric. But this one time I did, because, well, how can you go to Hamilton, Missouri and not buy new fabric? And so I've been holding on to this fabric. I had several, let's see, I didn't buy too much. I mean, I could see people spending thousands of dollars there. But I did buy quite a bit. And so I bought charm packs and quilt block packs where it just had a whole bunch of different fabrics, and the 2 lines I bought were, it was a nursery rhyme, and then like a vintage, almost like the repo of like feed sacks and 1930s fabrics and stuff like that. So anyway, I've had this stash for a really long time, and I've washed them, and I've touched them, and I've smelled them, and I've washed them again, and then I'll use them, and I've actually been using them quite a bit here recently. But I feel like it's time for me to give them to new homes. So these kits were based off of some of my fabrics that I got when I went to Missouri Star Quilt Company. And so the kit started with whatever fabric I pulled from my stash, and then I pulled a bunch of vintage pieces to blend in with it. So each kit is centered around a color, and I have details and pictures to show exactly what you'll get in that kit. And it's like mostly fabric, but then there's going to be some paper ephemera also. So I'm like super, super, super excited. And I think I have like 9 colors. I don't know. Go to my Etsy store. You'll see. And I have 2 kits for each color, if that makes any sense. So go and check it out, because I'm so excited. Okay, so then another thing that I have is I went through my fabric that I've just had in my stash and that I've just been coveting forever. And so I have some character fabrics, and these are thrift store finds. So this one is a Precious Moments pattern for making a book, one of those soft books, and it's got the instructions on it, and I think there's 9 panels or 9 pages on this. And I bought it in, of course, it was at a thrift store, so I bought it thinking, okay, I'll turn these into journal covers. But I never did, and it's been sitting here forever, and it's time to go to a new home. So this would be great to make into the actual book, because the instructions are here, or to make them into journal covers, or to use them as slow stitching blocks, or cut out the images and put them in your slow stitching. So I have that. Along those same lines, I have again, found it at a thrift shop, but this is a pillow sham, and it is Care Bears. And again, I had all these intentions of making a Care Bear journal, never did. And so this is the front, and then there's a back. I'll show you the back, but the pictures are all on, there's the back. The pictures are all on my Etsy shop, so, and the details and everything. So this is time to go to a new home. And then there was this thing. So this is a Hug-a-Bunch, and Huggins is the name. It's a Hallmark, and this is not, I'm reading this upside down, 1984. And then this is a pillow pattern. And so again, just look at Etsy and you'll see all of the details. But you know, it doesn't necessarily have to be a pillow. It can be whatever you want it to be. It could be a journal cover. You could cut it apart. Maybe it becomes a wall hanging. Okay, so now I've had this quilt. This is a lap quilt. I've had this quilt for several years and had all these ideas of things I was going to do with it and never did. And so it's time for it to go to a new home. So this is a smaller quilt, and it's got these cool fabrics. It's been washed, and it smells good, and it's super, super soft. And so this is in my Etsy shop. So things you could do with this. Well, it could be a quilt. It could be a baby blanket. It could be a dog blanket or a kitty blanket. Or you could unpick it, and you could use the fabric. There's nothing wrong with that, because again, this was salvaged from, it was a cast off. Someone along the lines had gotten rid of it, And so, you know, don't feel bad about you putting it to good use. It's better to be put to good use than it is sitting on a shelf or sitting in a drawer, or sitting in someone's attic and, you know, just taking up space. You could also, if you were really into the slow stitching, it could become the background of a slow stitching project, either a large one that you could hang on the wall or you could cut it down. But nonetheless, it is, like I said, oh, I gotta smell it because I love, I love fresh washed fabrics and linens. And it's just super soft and it's just got a lot of possibilities. So that's in my shop. I have some bundles of quilt squares. So in my last video, I showed you how I kind of have been organizing my slow stitching stuff. And I have a bag that is my backgrounds. And so I thought, okay, it's time. I've got these quilts. I need to get them out there. They're just sitting in my stash and there's only so much I can use. So in these little bundles, you'll get 4 quilt blocks or 4 pieces of quilt. You get one that has some cross stitching on it. You get a blank one. There's this one that's got these little roses on one side, and then on the other side you'll get part of a some sort of a quilt design. And then this one, I've used this background several times with some slow stitching projects. I love the butterflies and this is super soft, but you could also use this side, which is going to have some sort of a quilt design. These are going to be tattered, guys. These are going to be ripped. These are going to be torn. They are very clean, but they are salvaged and they're going to have a history and they're going to have a story to tell, and each bundle has a different backside, and you'll just get whatever one that I chose for that bundle. You don't actually get to pick because most people probably wouldn't aren't going to choose this side for something anyway. They're going to probably do the back. So anyway, I have, I think, 5 of those. Then, and I'm not going to open this one up because it'll take me forever to get it rolled back up. But I had a quilt and I unpicked it, which unpicking just means you undo the quilting stitches so that the layers come apart. So you have a top, you have a bottom or a back, and then you have the batting in the middle. And so when I did this, this was the one where I discovered the tablecloth on the inside. And so this quilt top is going to be a crazy quilt. It's got these squares. There's all kinds of different fabrics. These are old. Many of them are torn, tattered, ripped. You're going to get, you know, a piece that has a lot of age, a lot of color, a lot of age. And it's just, and again, it smells so good. You just want to embrace all of these soft fabrics, and then against the, like, this is a really soft, delicate one, and this is a more it's just like so cottony soft, and then this one's more utilitarian, and oh my gosh, I love that. Okay, so when I unpicked these, you'll get a top, and then you'll also get a piece from the back. So you'll get a top piece and a piece from the back. And this is what the back looked like. And again, these quilts that I'm using, they had been washed with something, or over time they had developed this pink hue. I think they'd been washed with something probably that was red. So they have sort of this pinkish hue, but I think that just kind of adds to the whole character of it. And then you're going to have some little stains and some tears and some frayed edges, but if you are watching my channel, you are probably okay with that because you know that that's how I roll. So I have, gosh, how many do I have of those? I think I have 5 of these. Did I say I had 5 or 8 of these? I think I have 8 of the quilt blocks, 8 different bundles, and then I think I have 5 of the quilt toppers. Okay, now for the one that I posted on Instagram. Okay, so if you remember a long time ago, I made strawberry shortcake journals. I had found a strawberry shortcake bedspread, and God, it's the softest thing ever. Like I could just, oh, you don't even know how soft it is. So it's so soft, and I made journals, and they were like this one. Now, I found this when I was cleaning some stuff out, and I was like, oh, I must have forgot to finish this one and put it in my shop when I did those journals. I think I've done them twice now. So yeah, so okay, surprise, there's going to be a strawberry shortcake journal in my shop. I'll show you that here in just a second. But what I did was I looked at the bedspread that I had left over. And in the sewing world, slow stitch world, you would call that a cutter because you've cut it apart and you've got pieces. And so what I have done is I've taken the rest of the bedspread and the scraps. I'm going to put them into little bundles, and I'm got them in my shop, and I'm going to sell them. Now, you'll need to look at the listing and see exactly which, because I think I have 4 different ones. And you'll need to look to see what piece you're actually getting. So like this one is called Apple Blossom and Strawberry Shortcake. So you'll be able to, like, whatever one you choose, you will get those exact pieces. So what would you do with this? Well, I mean, you could be like me and just sit here and touch it and smell it. Or you could make your own journal out of it. You could make a wall hanging out of it. I actually have a few of these scraps that I kept for myself. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make them into some sort of a slow stitch project, probably a wall hanging. And it's going to be probably, I'll take some sort of backing. I don't know what I'll use. And then I will cut out the images, the little bits and pieces, and stitch them on and just kind of make a collage of fabric, kind of celebrating me being a kid growing up in the 70s and 80s. And again, strawberry shortcake I loved, but I was actually aging out of strawberry shortcake when it got big. So I loved it, but I didn't really play with it because I had moved on to, teenage stuff. But nonetheless, it was part of my growing up, and every time I see something strawberry shortcake, it just makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside. So I personally am going to turn it into, whatever my little scraps are. I'm going to turn it into some sort of a project where it's just to feel good. It's just something that maybe I hang it on the wall, maybe I throw it on my bed, maybe it's small, maybe it's big. I don't really know, but I'm going to somehow pay homage to my love of just strawberry shortcake. So I have 4 of these, and again, look at the pictures, because you'll need to see like which ones you're actually buying, because whatever the pictures say, that's exactly what you'll get. And I can't guarantee that all of them will have strawberry shortcake in them, because again, this was just the remnants of the blanket. I do have to point out that there are some paint spots, and so I tried to, in the description, show you where there are paint spots. All right, so there is that. Okay, so since I kind of already showed you, I do have one strawberry shortcake journal. It is a single signature. It is, okay, I think there's 20, which would be 40, which would then be 80 fronts and backs, maybe, I think. I don't know, I'd have to recount it. I have not this is not in the shop yet. I have to list this today. And I don't think the strawberry shortcakes are in the shop. The blankets are in the shop yet either, because I have to list it. So something I did a little different on this one. I love to use vintage paper and things like that. But I found this this book. It was a book for journaling, like for teenagers. And it had the most beautiful paper. And of course it was, you know, thrifted and some of it was used, but I kept it because I just was like, this is the most gorgeous book ever, even though I didn't ever journal in it. So what I did was I actually used those pages in here. So you're going to get some really not my normal stuff. You'll see that there is some papers in here that come from this book, and there may be little journal prompts and stuff like that. There's some strawberry shortcake book papers in here. Of course, there's vintage paper and ledger paper and all that good stuff. Old book pages. Here's my favorite page. So this would be some scrapbook paper right here. And then I took 2 pieces of stationery and put them together and sewed them in. I love that. Now check out the other side of it. So here's the other side, and if you've gotten journals from me before, you know I love this stationery. And so I did the same thing. I backed it, sewed it, and then I think that's such a cool page. So anyway, this will be in my shop later today. What's today? Today's Thursday. So this will be in my shop later on this afternoon. I don't know the exact time because I don't know, I'm on summertime, but I will get this in my shop soon, like after I get the video done and stuff like that. So, super soft, squishy, and it smells so good. Okay, since we're talking journals, I'll go ahead and show you guys this. So again, over the winter, I did a lot of cleaning and I found all kinds of abandoned projects, things that I had started, journals that I had started, and yeah, never finished. So I had these guys. Let me show you what they looked like. So they were actually envelopes, you know, for patterns, and then I backed them onto some really nice paper, and I taped them, and I glued them, and then I stitched. I should have, but this one I didn't. But then I would stitch them, and I would embellish them, and I would fold them, and put a pocket, and all this good stuff. I think at one time I put these in my Etsy shop, and I stuffed them full of sewing supplies, I think. Anyway, I had these 3 sitting and they were already embellished and they had the pockets in them and everything. And I was like, what in the world? They're just sitting here doing nothing. So I turned them into journals. Now, these are kind of cool because, I don't know, they're just funky. Like there is just so much tattered and all kinds of groovy things just hanging off. I didn't make them too terribly big because this is not a reproduction. These are the real deal pattern envelopes. So they're fragile. And so I didn't want to overstuff it, but nonetheless, it's got some good stuff in there. And there's a pocket and scrapbook paper and ledger paper and vintage paper and paper from sewing books and more scrapbook paper and transfer paper. I think that's a piece of art paper and wallpaper. So yeah, I'm loving it. And so there's this one, and then it has this cool little flap right here, which I thought that was kind of cool. There's this one, which same thing. The papers are going to be the same. This one even has a library card on the back. I went all out when I made these. I don't even remember when I made these. And then look, I put a couple of my, sheets, my vintage sheets. I put a couple of the tags on, like this one and this one. Oh, love it, love it, love it. This one even has the name of the place where you could buy this fabric, which was House of Fabrics, or not fabric, this pattern. Oh, love it, love it, love it. So yeah, this is super groovy. So yeah, and this one, I don't know, I got fancy, put a little tie there. Okay, so these 3 will be in my shop. Again, not yet because, well, I'm making this video right now, so I haven't put these in my shop, but I'm planning on doing that this afternoon, single signature. Yeah. Okay. And then these right here, I don't know if I get, oh, look at that. That's super cute. I've thought a couple of things. One, I could just put these in the shop as they are and sell them. And then, I don't know, someone buy them, turn them into their own journal covers. That would be kind of cool, especially people who are wanting to make journals, but they aren't real for sure how to get started. This would be a great way to get started. I also thought about just going ahead and finishing them off and making journals. I don't know. I'm going to hang on to them. We'll see what happens in the next few weeks. Okay. I've been hanging on to this for so long. All right. Okay. Love, love, love Care Bears. Now, again, when Care Bears came out, I was aging out of it, but I still loved it. Like, it just, oh. And my bear was Grumpy Bear. I think I even got a Grumpy Bear because I was grumpy at that time because I was getting ready to be a teenager. And I think my mom even got me a Grumpy Bear, I think. Anyway, okay, so Care Bears, 2019, Dollar Tree had these calendars. I bought a whole bunch because, I don't know, why not? So I've held on to these, and I need to move on. I have not opened them, and they have beautiful images in there that you will be able to cut apart and use in your journaling and all kinds of good stuff. So yeah, and then here's what this is what they look like. Okay, so I have made, I think I have four of these Care Bear kits. Okay, so you'll get a calendar, but here's where the good stuff is. I found it's old, it's 80s, 1988. 1988, it was a game, and it was about safety. It was Safe and Fun Summer Playtime Parents Guide. Okay, so what I did was I took the game board, and I broke it all down. And so I have taken the pieces, like, look, there's a little piece right there. There's the Good Luck Bear. Oh, there's the Bedtime Bear. I've taken all the pieces and I have chopped them up, and I've created a kit. So you'll get the calendar, you'll get the game pieces, whatever game pieces you are. And I made them, you know, as even as possible. So just be sure to look at the description in Etsy and look at the pictures. Then I also had some Care Bear books, and I thought, okay, this will be the way that you can choose which kit. So this one is Good Luck Bear kit. Okay, so I have Good Luck Bear, I have Grumpy, of course. I think I have Funshine Bear, and what's the last one? Oh man, what is the last one? Good Luck, Funshine. Oh, Wish Bear, the one with the star. So there will be 4 of these in my Etsy shop. Again, haven't put it in yet. I haven't even taken the pictures on this one. So this will be later today that I'll get this in. But yeah, I'm just like over the moon over this because, oh my gosh, can you imagine how much fun, especially if Care Bears was your jam, how much fun you could have, like cutting all this apart and putting this in your journal and using these little game pieces. That would just be, yeah, so much fun. Okay, so there's that. Anything else? Well, I have a journal cover. Let me show you. So I have a journal cover that I just did last night. I needed to go to bed, but I didn't go to bed, and I just sat there and I was like, I'm going to make this journal cover because that's my favorite part of making stuff for my Etsy shop, is what I call prototyping, is putting together different types of materials and seeing what I can come up with. And so this was some crazy materials that I had. These are some quilt blocks, but they're polyester. And I've had them for quite a while, and they've just been sitting there, and I've like, something has to be done with them. This is just some trim, and this right here, these are wallpaper samples. And so this is like, you know, rattan or whatever. And so, I don't know, I just stuck this down, stitched it messily last night, put these little brads in. I haven't filled it, and I don't know if I'm going to make any more. I did kind of love it. I love the size, but this could be something that I could have, I don't know, later on this weekend or this week. I'm not for sure. I'll post on Instagram when or if I put this in my Etsy shop, but yeah, I'm just loving going through and finding unfinished projects and things that I wanted to put in my shop for the last, year and just never had time to do it. So anyway, there you go. There's the shop update for today. And I hope you guys got inspired by watching this and listening to my rambling. I hope you are healthy. I hope you are happy. Watch for more updates through Instagram. And if I do any more big drops, I'll put some stuff on YouTube. And I hope you guys have a great rest of the day. Talk to you soon. Bye.